All right, first, if you could, give us an overview of the Athletic Directors Association, who you are, why you're here.
Right. Well, we're the professional association for all athletic administrators in the state of Texas, secondary administrators in the state of Texas. We provide professional development, networking opportunities, the conference, and everything to help an athletic administrator do their job in the state of Texas. Much like the Coaches Association provides for coaches, we do the same thing for athletic administrators.
Nice, and you mentioned professional development, this conference in particular. Talk a little bit about what this conference gives to an AD that's attending.
Well, obviously there's a heavy emphasis on professional development. But what's unique about this year's conference is we kicked off our TAC class, as we call it, Texas Athletic Administrators Certification Program. And what that is we've launched it at the conference, and what it is, it's a curriculum built around those courses and subjects that are pertinent and important to athletic administrators, things that they need to be aware of so that they can become certified in the state of Texas. One of the things that we hear about all the time is Texas is such a different place that we do things so different. We like to think we do it better, but we do things different than most places. One of the things I hear from superintendents is, what do you have to do to be an athletic administrator in the state of Texas? This TAC certification leads that way and is a curriculum developed specifically to answer that question.
So in the future, when people are hiring ADs, they're going to be looking for that certification?
Yes, absolutely, and the superintendent will be able to look at that curriculum and see what courses and curriculum that AD has indeed followed and used to become certified. Hopefully they'll have a good deal of comfort with that. And the superintendents were also very involved in helping us develop this curriculum, so they have a lot of ownership in it as well.
Nice. If you could talk a little bit about the safety aspect of this job and how a conference like this addresses safety issues.
Oh yeah, that's interesting too, in this day and age. And so we deal directly with the security force here in Waco that helps us and is on call for us all the time. We've added staff, so we are staffed throughout the convention center and different places appropriately so that we can deal with that. But it's amazing from a couple of years ago where you never really concerned yourself with that to where we're at now. It has definitely become a concern. We've addressed it, and we do have people on alert and on standby to handle any kind of an emergency.
I got you. And specifically talk about the safety of athletes and how the Athletic Directors Association helps education.
Yeah, well, that's extremely important because whereas most athletic directors, certainly in a big school district, don't deal directly with the students, their coaches do, it's still up to the athletic administrator to provide the administrative aspect of that, scheduling and making sure there's enough athletic trainers, making sure those athletic trainers are certified. And what goes into continual certification of athletic trainers. The certification for an athletic trainer is very intense, and it's up to an athletic administrator to make sure that continuing studies for a trainer is kept up. So administrators always have to be aware of athletic trainers, coaches training, and etc. Even though they perhaps may not deal with it themselves, they are still responsible for athletic administrative oversight.
Okay, and what is something that is taught here that may surprise people? Some aspect of it that you don't think of?
Well, one of the interesting things about it that surprised us a little bit is, first of all, we got great attendance at this, best we've ever had. But one of the more interesting sessions was our highest attended. It wasn't the UIL, it wasn't even the safety part. It was the development of an athletic department handbook. And the place was packed. And it was very interesting because we've never had that kind of a turnout for that topic before. And so that caught us a little by surprise as how many athletic administrators attended that. A lot of football coaches are here too, and they sat in on that too. So that was a pleasant surprise, but nevertheless that caught us somewhat off guard, but it was a pleasant surprise, absolutely.
Nice. And what changes have you seen recently in the position of athletic director?
There's there's so many things that are going on. Those elements that were specific 5 years ago, or were not specific 5 years ago, are certainly there now. Athletic administrators are dealing with transgender issues now. They're dealing with a lot of intense Title IX issues, and things that might not have been pronounced, as I said, 5 years ago, have certainly risen to the top here now, right now. The other thing we're seeing is a tremendous amount of growth. And with that growth, we get a lot of people from out of Texas moving into Texas. And again, our rules and compliance and our procedures and our protocols are a lot different than most states. And we find athletic administrators having to deal with a lot of those transfer and eligibility issues where mom and dad come into the state of Texas and the eligibility rules and the transfer rules in another state are so different than ours that athletic administrators are always having to stay on the front end of advising those folks about those kind of things. So physicals have become, the medical part of it has become much more intense. And to the good thing, and it needed to, but has become more specific. So those are a few of the things that we've seen change and will keep changing. They'll keep evolving and that administrators stay up with, and things that we provide here at the conference for them.
And Rusty, do you want to just comment about your board and about the folks who kind of make this all come together?
Sure.
Everyone from the secretaries to the people who
Yes.
behind the scenes.
Good call, Jeff.
You keep looking at
Yeah, good call. Our THSADA office is comprised of a few folks. We're not a large office. Our Director of Membership and Registration is Kathy Mathis. Our Secretary is Alyssa Unger. And then I've got some retired athletic directors that help us, and I tap into their knowledge and experience very much. Keith Kilgore, former athletic director in Fort Bend, Larry Peel, former athletic director in Cy-Fair, and Bill Dawes, former AD in Clear Creek ISD, are tremendous help. They're the core of what we do and what we put together. Each one of those three retired ADs has a specific duty that they have, and the nice thing about it is they've been doing it a couple of years, so we've got a pretty good template for putting on our conference, and this is the second year that we've been in Waco. So we get a lot of great help with our office staff. This is the first year we've videotaped every one of our sessions to put on the website for future teaching use, and Midway ISD has stepped up to help us do that, and so we're very appreciative of them. Our board of directors, our officers, our president, Debbie Decker from Katy ISD is our president. They've all stepped up to help us put on the conference as well in all their different areas of responsibility. So our board's very involved in this, and our THSADA office is certainly very involved in putting this on. And the thing we've found out is dealing with the conference, it's a year-round job. You know, I don't know that I expected that when I first took this over, but we will start working on next year's conference. In fact, some elements of it have already started. So those are some of the key groups and key people that help us put this thing on.